I still remember the smirk on my father's face when I told him I was quitting my secure corporate job to start my own tech company. "That's a pipe dream," he said, voice heavy with skepticism. My friends chuckled, shaking their heads. "You're chasing shadows," they warned. Even at family dinners, relatives whispered about my reckless ambition, convinced I'd crash and burn, that I was wasting my potential on a lost cause. For months, their words echoed in my mind, gnawing at my confidence. But deep inside, I felt a fire, a stubborn, unyielding urge to prove them wrong. I knew the road ahead would be grueling. I had no funding, no industry connections, only a single idea I believed could revolutionize digital security, a market saturated with giants. Yet I worked tirelessly, nights blending into dawns, coding, pitching, learning everything I could about scaling a business from scratch. The early days were suffocating. I slept in my office, my apartment now filled with servers and wires. Rejection letters piled up. Investors told me my concept was too niche, my team was too small, my revenue too insignificant. I faced constant failures. There was a moment when I nearly gave up. After a disastrous product launch that drained my savings. But I remembered their doubts. I decided I'd owe it to myself to fight harder, smarter. I refined my product relentlessly, listening to initial users, earning their trust. I bootstrapped, sacrificing comfort, taking on freelance gigs to keep the lights on. Slowly, word spread. Small businesses overwhelmed by cyber threats found my platform affordable and effective. My user base grew from a handful to thousands. Revenue crossed the six-figure mark within a year. I reinvested every dollar into R&D, scouting for top talent and expanding my reach. 3 years later, my startup, SecureNest, had a valuation of over $200 million. We signed contracts with major corporations, earning industry awards and industry recognition. I was invited to speak at conferences, my story inspiring others who dared to dream differently. I had transformed from the outsider, mocked and underestimated, into a leader respected in the cybersecurity arena. Then, one day, I returned to my hometown, stepping into the familiar house where my family still lived. The old doubts and dismissals lingered in their eyes as I entered the room. I looked at my father, who had once scoffed. I pulled out my phone and showed him the news. The headlines celebrating SecureNest's milestone, my name listed among top entrepreneurs. I handed him a printed report. Our revenue soared past $50 million last quarter. His face softened, a flicker of pride replacing disbelief. "I guess I was wrong," he murmured, eyes moist. I felt an overwhelming rush, not just of triumph, but of authenticity. I had proved to myself that relentless perseverance, strategic focus, and unwavering belief could turn a humiliating mockery into a story of redemption. Today, I stand here not just as a CEO, but as a testament. No matter how heavy the doubts, how loud the mockery, persistence and passion can carve a path through the impossible. And that, in the end, is the greatest victory.